I'm sorry we are a little late starting off, but last night was a long night, and I'm now realizing that we must have taken you really far out east, that we still don't have some people coming back yet. So, but anyhow, we will start, and I'm sure our rest of our participants will join us in a short while. I hope you enjoyed last evening. I am sorry that the program lasted so long for those of us that were with us, but it was, I think, one of the memorable points of our conference, if you agree with me. We're back for a second day of very valuable and very informative panels full of esteemed and knowledgeable panelists from industry and outside the industry. So our first panel is the one that I am personally looking forward to, because with my age, I'm coming back and catching up with the technologies, if I may say so. For me, this is a great opportunity to learn really some very interesting new subjects from the panelists in the panel. Our panel is To Be or To Be, the Future Trends in Direct Selling. Oh, before the panel, though, I'm sorry, I must have been gone out far east that I forgot something. I would like to introduce to you a very important person who is really, in a way, representing the owner of this conference, World Federation of Direct Selling Associations. To say a few words to us, to share her insight, I would like to introduce Ms. Tamuna Gabalaya, the Executive Director of World Federation of Associations. Tamuna, please.
Well, good morning. What an insightful and exciting day we all had yesterday. The Turkish DSA and the whole organizing committee did an outstanding job in putting together very strong, relevant agenda that includes very meaningful and informative presentations by the industry leaders and by external stakeholders. And of course, social events which will help us strengthen existing relationships and build new ones. And I'm sure that our stay here in Istanbul and our participation in the first WFDSA Regional Conference, East meets West, will be the one that we'll remember for years to come. Yesterday, in her keynote address, our chairman, Andrea Jung, talked about accomplishments and about the progress that WFDSA made over the past several years. Well, let me share a little bit my experience. I've joined WFDSA in 2003, and that was period when WFDSA just reorganized. And I can say that I have witnessed WFDSA to go through three very distinctive stages. Stage one, under Dick DeVos's leadership, I would say it was a stage of definition, because Dick came up and defined our key initiatives, such as advocacy, ethics, and association services. Under the leadership of Truman Hunt, Truman came up with an idea to help our industry, as he would say, to leap forward by uniting it around four key objectives. Number one, strengthening local DSAs, because we all know we are only as strong as our national DSAs. Elevating focus on ethics, because each of us as association and industry executives have a role to play in protecting the integrity of our marketplace and protecting our marketplace from unethical business practices, because we all know if the perception is negative, it will affect the growth of the industry, and it will also affect the regulatory environment. And we saw yesterday, under Andrea's leadership, there was a period of implementation. What an accomplishment, and what 3 years we had. And we will continue realizing our full potential under our new leader, Alessandro Carlucci. And Alessandro, we are all looking forward to working with you. And just a little bit later, you will hear Alessandro's vision for the industry for the next 3 years. Like any other industry, our industry has its challenges. At WFDSA, we strive to quickly identify these challenges and implement programs to neutralize them. This is achieved primarily through education of key regulatory and academic groups and promotion of consumer protection initiatives. And I am convinced that a strategy of reaching out to these audiences and taking time to really explain ourselves, and better yet, to show who we really are, is our best option. When we align ourselves with consumer groups, when we meet with lawmakers, when we invite reporters in to meet us, when we help regulators draft or amend laws or legislation on our industry, what we are really doing, we are opening eyes and opening minds through our action. We will continue collecting valuable data on direct selling industry. For example, since 2005, we have conducted 24 socio-economic impact studies in our most important markets, because our goal is to have the composite picture of the direct selling industries. And at World Federation, we will continue conducting these studies next year and years after that. We will continue gathering data on industry's reputation to help various markets develop targeted campaigns to improve public perceptions of the industry. And very recently, we supported the efforts of the Baltic States DSAs to conduct such a study. And we will continue partnering with respected organizations such as APAC to demonstrate our commitment to consumer protection. I want to highlight one of our hallmark consumer education and protection initiatives, which is called APAC CP, or Consumer Education and Protection Initiative. This is a very special program for our industry. It was endorsed in 1998 by APAC, small and medium-sized ministers in Christchurch, New Zealand. And this program, whose main goal is to promote consumer education and protection in the APAC region, is considered as one of the most successful public-private partnership program within APAC. And this program is implemented in cooperation with U.S. Direct Selling Education Foundation. We are committed to helping the industry prosper and in accelerating the growth of an industry by increasing the stature and credibility of direct selling companies and associations worldwide. We will continue to support and strengthen the impact of the local direct selling associations in promoting best practices of best DSAs and improving the efficiencies of DSAs in our strategic direct selling market. I have been privileged over the past 9 years to work with best industry leaders and have best bosses that anyone can imagine. And I'm very glad that for the next years, I will continue having my past bosses in the operating group, and I will have my new boss, Alessandro Carlucci. And of course, I want to thank very much the operating group, and I want to share with you that being on the operating group, which is, as you heard from Andrea, is led by the CEOs. It is very important, and what is more important, that these CEOs are so committed and they are so responsive that really makes our progress possible. And of course, I cannot go without mentioning the committee chairperson with whom we work very closely on the operating group and who drive our distinctive 4 areas of focus, which I just mentioned. I want to thank Michael Lunsford of Mary Kay, who is the chairman of the advocacy committee, for being always there and for doing an outstanding job. I want to thank Association Service Chairman Richard Berry. And I want to thank Ethics Committee Chairman John Hickson, and of course my colleague at USDSA, Joe Mariano. And of course, Maureen Paniagua, without whom I cannot imagine working at World Federation. And I want to say that our colleagues at DSAs are doing an incredible job in promoting, protecting, and policing our industry. And I want to commend you, my colleagues, my full-time staff from the DSAs, for helping WFDSAs to do even better progress. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tamuna, for your very valuable comments. I will continue with our first panel. Our first panel titled, To Be or To Be, the Future Trends in Direct Selling. This panel will discuss the adaptation of new technologies by direct selling companies worldwide. As we most know, that direct selling is now the world's largest business to micro-business network for prompt ordering and fulfillment of consumer orders. In a way, advance of current practices in most other industry sectors. The use of the internet and social networking now provides direct selling companies with a motivational communication medium that represents a quantum leap from the practices that were commonplace a decade ago. For the moderating of this panel, I would like to invite Mr. Robert Watson from Yanbal International, and our esteemed panelists, Mr. Mike Gamaggio, E-Business and Mobile Communications Manager from Amway Europe, Mr. Rick Harris, Managing Director of Customer Faithful Limited, and Ms. Gaye Kökten, Intel Turkey PR and Social Media Manager. Before I leave the panel to address you, I do want to highlight that this is the most international panel that we have in this conference. We have people coming from different parts of the world sharing their valuable information with us. Thank you.
Good morning, and thank you very much for assisting to this conference. We really hope that at the end we have shared good insights and ideas on what's going on with all the social media and technology supporting direct selling companies. And before we start, I would like to have the panelists do a short introduction on themselves so you know where they come from and what they're doing. And we'll start with Gaye.
Thank you, and good morning all. I'm the Intel Turkey PR and Social Media Manager, and I've been in this role for the last 6 years. Before that, I was still in communication in PR agencies especially. I'm a great fan of internet and all social media. You can see me everywhere. So I hope you like whatever I will tell you.
Thank you, Gaye. And Mr. Rick Harris.
Good morning. So my name is Rick Harris. My company is Customer Faithful, and I have a confession to make. I'm not a direct selling expert. My business is in looking for changes in consumer behavior and to help organizations use those insights to improve their business and their relationships with their customers. That's primarily in the retail industry, but in lots of other walks of life. I talk to patients in hospitals, passengers on trains and railways. I'm interested in the experiences of people in general rather than just in one specific field.
And Mike Gamaggio.
Günaydin. My name is Mike Gamaggio. I work with Amway Europe, and I'm the e-business and mobile communications manager. Before transitioning into the marketing department at Amway, I was with the IT department, and I was there the interface between the business units requiring functionalities from our IT colleagues and the IT staff. So I was kind of the mediator between these two worlds, trying to speak these two diverse languages. And before that, I was on a roller coaster ride of the first internet bubble, and we had our ups and downs over there. Thanks.
Okay, well, my name is Robert Watson. I commute between Latin America and Europe for the past 8 years. I've worked over 36 years in direct selling, so I've made most of my life in direct selling. And I've had the opportunity to work in countries like Chile, Bolivia, Mexico, Colombia, Ecuador. And from Ecuador, we opened Spain and Italy. So we've used a lot of technology to enable our companies. And now, to start, we will have a 15-minute presentation by each of the panelists. So I'll ask Rick Harris to start his presentation, and then we'll have a discussion.
So good morning. Yeah, as I said, my role is to look for trends, to try and find what's coming, to try and help you understand what consumers are looking for. And the